All right. Hello. This is part 5 to What If Naruto was part dragon. So, yeah. By the way, I'm starting school on Monday, so for the next for the rest of for the next couple months, I'll probably only be able to get maybe one, maybe two videos out a week. Not like the not like the three or four that I get out usually. I'll probably only be able to get like one, maybe two out if I'm lucky. I'm sorry for that. So yeah, let's start. As Naruto and his team with Tsunade come back to the village, they're welcomed by the villagers. After they're done with the welcome, Naruto starts preparing for his meeting with Itachi. While he is preparing for the meeting with Itachi, he moves his stuff into the Senju compound with Tsunade. On the day of the meeting, Naruto goes out goes out to the forest as he sensed Itachi in the forest. As he walks into the meeting place, he sees Itachi sitting on the ground. Naruto says, "So, what is it that you want to talk about?" "Well, I just wanted to know, how powerful are you and Sasuke?" "Well, for me, I don't have the Nine Tails anymore." "How?" "Well, I have a dragon inside me now." "Really? Can I see it?" "Yeah, sure." Naruto taps Itachi's head and and he gets, as he does, they get teleported to a place that looks like a mountain range. But each mountain has hundreds of times bigger than any mountain in the real world or any mountain Itachi has seen. And also, each mountain has dragon sculptures and shrines on them. As Itachi sees this, he screams, "Naruto, where are you?" Naruto lands on the mountain in his dragon mode, in his dragon mode 3, and says, "I'm right here." Itachi turns around and says, "So is that a type of dragon transformation?" "Yes, that's right." "So where is the dragon and where's your dragon?" As Itachi says this, Kyle lands on the mountain and says, "I'm not his dragon, we are one. Our souls are now intertwined." Itachi says, "So Naruto's a part dragon human?" Kai says, "Yes, that's right." Itachi says, "So where's the Nine Tails?" "I absorbed him," Kai says. Itachi asks, "How?" Kai says, "Naruto, use a genjutsu to show him." Naruto uses a genjutsu to show him how Kai absorbed the Nine Tails. Itachi says, "Okay, well, you still haven't answered my question. How strong are you?" Naruto says, "Well, I can use 40% of Kai's power, and I can also knock down a mountain this size." Itachi says, "Okay, well, how strong is Sasuke?" "Well, he has his Mangekyo, and he is the person that Lady Amaterasu is going to give her power to." Itachi says, "So, my brother is connected to the goddess of the sun." Naruto says, "Yes." Itachi says, "Understood. Well, that's all I needed to know." Naruto says, "Okay, got it." Itachi then says, "Are you sure you should have told me all of this?" The Nine Tail Naruto then says, "The Nine Tails has an ability to sense emotions and intentions. Kaya absorbed it, so that he now has those powers. And since we're now intertwined, I have those powers as well. I know you won't tell the Akatsuki. And I can tell that you're trying to mask your intentions and emotions, but I can tell." Tachi says, "Wow, that's very powerful. Well, how do I leave this place?" Naruto says, "Oh, just think about leaving and you'll disappear." Itachi says, "Okay." Itachi then closes his eyes and disappears after about 20 seconds. Kaya then says, "Naruto, I need to talk to you." Naruto says, "What, Kaya?" "Well, you need to learn God Sage mode." "Okay, well, how do I do that?" "Well, you have to gain pure energy. It's the energy that hasn't been turned into nature energy, into chakra, into anything. It is the energy that is purely created to run everything in the universe. Naruto says, How do I do that? Well, since you're part dragon, it should come to you easily. Just sit down and meditate. Naruto sits down, and after about a minute of meditating, he feels something come into him. He opens his eyes and says, So this is what pure energy is. It feels powerful. Yes, but that's not the full power. The reason you have to do this is because you were chosen by the God Sage, to learn God Sage mode. Naruto says, What does the God Sage mode do? Well, it improves all of your stats by 200%, and it improves your chakra by 200 times, and improves your chakra by 50 times. But it's actually 100 times because of me, and it gives you a new transformation, but it'll just be added onto your dragon transformation. It'll make it as if the scales are made of light, and it'll give you access to full 100% of my power, and you'll be able to use 20% of my transformation 4. Naruto says, Wow, that's really strong. But how do you know all of this? He sent someone to talk to me, and they told me all of this. Naruto says, Can I talk to him myself? Kai says, Yes. What you do is meditate in here, and your real body will be teleported to his realm. Naruto says, Okay. Naruto starts meditating, and after 2 minutes, he gets kicked out of his mindscape and finds himself in a place with crystals and a giant tree in the center. And all around him are weird structures. He looks around, but then he hears a voice. The voice said, Hi, Naruto. Have you come to learn God's Sage mode? Naruto says, Yes, I have. So how do I master it? Kane says, You must do 4 things. Naruto asks, What are they? First, you have to master turning your pure energy into light energy. When this is mastered, you'll be able to use the God Sage technique, light weapon creation. Naruto says, Understood. Naruto starts training and starts trying to turn pure light into weapons. He first turns the light into a staff. This was the easiest form, as he just needed to straighten the light, but it did take him a month to do it. He then moved on to making a bow and arrow. It was harder because he needed to bend the light and make an arrow at the same time. It took him about 3 months to do it. Then, the last thing he needed to do is make a replica of the true God Sword. This took him 1 month of no sleep to perfect it. After he did this, he went back to the God Sage and asked, So, what's next? And by the way, what's your name? I didn't get it last time. Well, my name is Kane, and what you need to do next is learn how to spread the light energy around your arms and keep it around your arms for about 1 day. Once you can do it for 1 day straight, that's how you'll know you have mastered it. Naruto nods and says, Okay, got it, Kane. Naruto then goes to the training area to start his first to start wait. Naruto then goes to the training area to start. He first creates the light energy and tries to control it. He puts it around his arms, but then he notices how hard it is to keep it like that. But he can get it down, but he knows he can get it down fast. He then starts training, and after about a week of training non-stop, he gets it done. He then passes the test, and he then asks, Kane, so what's the next stage, Kane? The second to last is spreading the light energy around your whole body to create a sort of light armor. Or it says, Wait, isn't that the same as spreading it around your arms? Kane says, Well, sort of, but it's a lot harder. You'll see when you start training. Naruto said, Understood. Naruto nods and says, Understood. Naruto then goes off to start training. He tries it, and it doesn't work at all. For the next week, he works on covering his whole body. After this, he gets to the point where being able to cover his whole chest. After another, he gets to the point of being able to cover his whole upper body, except his head, in light. And after another 2 weeks, he can cover his whole body in light easily. He goes to Kane and asks, "What's next?" Kane says, "Well, to tell you the truth, that should have been the last part. But since you have a special transformation, you need to apply the light to your transformation to make it complete. Since you know how to do both, you should be able to do it relatively fast." Naruto says, "Okay, that makes sense. Kaya did tell me my transformation would be changed. Well, I'll be going now. Yeah, I'm gonna go now." Naruto goes to train to cover his whole Dragon Mode 3 in light. He tries to cover his body first, and then activates his Dragon Mode 3. But it doesn't work. He then activates his Dragon Mode 3, and then tries to cover his body in light. But it doesn't work. The way it seems to be happening is, whenever he activates one, the other instantly gets deactivated. He then tries to do some other stuff, but none of it works. Like activating one after another very fast, just doing random stuff. After all this, Kaya then says, "Try to do both at the same time. Activate Dragon Mode and cover yourself in light at the same time. Try to cover yourself in light from your feet, and then activate Dragon from your head." Naruto says, "That's actually a very good idea." Naruto then tries it, and it works. He held it for a couple of minutes, and after that, his Dragon Mode Dragon Mode 3 and Light cover, binded together. He then deactivated it, and then he reactivated it again to make sure that it was permanent and it wasn't a fluke. He then said to Kaya, "It needs a name, right?" Kaya then says, "Yeah, it does. What do you got?" Naruto says, "I got it. Light Dragon Cloak. How do you like that, Kaya?" "It's good. I like it." Naruto then walks over to Kane and says, "So, did I do it? Did I do it?" Kane nods his head and says, "Perfect. Now, one last thing." Naruto says, "What is it?" "Well, I'm going to give you a bit of my chakra and power." Naruto says, "What will that do?" "Well, first, it will increase your chakra by a lot. And since you also have Kai inside of you, it'll actually increase your chakra by an incredibly, an incredible amount, even more. And also, you'll be able to manifest anything with the light energy around your body." Naruto says, "Can I manifest wings? Like dragon wings?" Kane says, "Yeah, pretty much anything. You could manifest sort of like jet propulsion. You could manifest something like a sort of explosive force to push your arm forward so that you can hit harder or kick faster. I don't really know. Also, your dragon skill evolved. You can now clump up your scales anywhere on your body and protect that. So let's say someone tried to stab you with a kunai. You can clump up your scales to stop the kunai, and you can use it like how you usually use it, but on any part of your body. Like your feet to make your kick, to make you go faster, or kick harder. And your Fist of the Dragon Gold Strike has evolved as well. It turned into God's Sage Arts, God's Fist. And you can also use 100% of Dragon Mode 3 and 20% of Dragon Mode 5. Naruto asks, "Wait, Dragon Mode 5? What?" Kane says, "Yes, Kaya's ability also evolved." Naruto says, "Okay, what are the stats?" Kane says, "Well, 300 times on all stats, 150 times to chakra, and another 50 times on everything else. And you'll be able to heal anything just by touching it. Someone has an entire arm split open, you can just grab their wrist and it'll be healed in about 30 seconds. You can also heal missing eyes. The only thing you really can't heal are missing organs and some missing limbs. If they only have one missing arm, then you could heal that, but you can't heal both of their arms. Naruto says, "Sweet, that sounds cool. Alright, let's do it." Kane then touches Naruto's forehead. After that, Naruto starts floating in the air. And after about 10 seconds, he lands on the ground and goes into Light Dragon Cloak. By the way, whenever I say Light Dragon Cloak, it means he's going into Dragon Mode 5 with God Sage Mode activated. So, yeah. He lands on the ground and goes into Light Dragon Cloak and says, "God Sage Arts, Light Speed, God's Ball, Rasen Sun." Naruto makes a Rasengan the size of one of the mountains in his mindscape, and then his light scales fill the Rasengan, showing underneath his dragon scales his normal clothes covered in light, creating sort of a transformation. He then throws it, and it pretty much teleported to the normal eye. It teleported to a mountain off in the distance, about 100,000 kilometers away. It explodes, and the light reaches all the way back to Naruto. He sees how powerful he is, and says, "Kane, why did you give me this power?" Kane says, "In due time, a threat will come up that will harness the power of the three gods of darkness." Naruto says, "Who are the gods of darkness?" Kane says, "Well, first, the three gods of light are me, my sister Amaterasu, and my brother Ryoto. We are the ones who hold the peace in the world. Then we have the three gods of darkness, my brother Kura, my other brother Abel, and my sister Kana." I says, "Wait, Amaterasu is the god helping Sasuke, correct?" Kane says, "Right. And the strongest of all of my siblings and me is my oldest brother, Ryoto. He says he is going to help you two, but I don't know when he will. But we all have chosen you and Sasuke Uchiha to be the next ambassadors of the light." Naruto says, "Thank you very much for choosing me as your ambassador, Kane." Kane says, "No, thank you, and you'll be able to use all of my powers when your body is ready." Naruto says, "Understood. Well, I've been gone for a couple months, so they're probably worried about me." Kane says, "Oh, don't worry. In this place, time moves faster. It's been a couple of months for us, but only about an hour for them." Naruto says, "Interesting. Yeah, okay, got it. How do I get out?" "Just release all of your pure energy. You'll be forced out." Naruto does this and gets pushed back into the place he was before. Before he left. Naruto then asks Kaya, "So, if I have pure energy, will I be forced back there?" Kaya says, "No, that was just because you didn't master it yet. You can come and go from that place now that you've mastered God Sage Mode. And you can gather pure energy without going back to that place. If you want to, you can start gathering pure energy right now." Naruto does this and goes into Light Dragon Cloak, and then asks, "So, Kaya, what was that place anyways?" "That was the realm of the gods. Only humans that have another race in them, like you, or a human chosen by the gods like Sasuke can go in." Okay, well, let's get going. I kind of want some sleep." Naruto then heads off to the Senju compound to get some sleep.